So the very first part of this course will be all about our wrists. Our wrists are not really meant to hold your whole body weight. It's a partial weight-bearing joint. It's just meant to, if you crawl on the floor or if you fall, so it can support your body. But now we obviously in a handstand want to place our full body weight onto our hands. That means those wrists and forearms and fingers, they need to get strong and prepared for the handstands. So the wrist warm-up we're going to do together will be obviously a warm-up, but then at the same time it is strengthening all those parts which are needed, and it makes your wrists and fingers more mobile and flexible. The wrist warm-up will be 5 to 10 minutes, and you can just follow along and do it together with me. So we're going to start with fingers facing you. Walk your knees a little bit further away from you, and then round your spine. Tuck the tailbone in, rounding your upper back, and then lean backwards. Now you should feel a nice stretching sensation here in your forearms. And we just hold that for a few moments. Try to keep the palms of your hands and the heels of your hands on the floor. Hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press fingertips into the ground, bring the shoulders on top of your wrists. Then flip the hands over, so the back of your hands are on the ground, fingers still facing you. Now, try to lock your elbows. If you can't lock them completely, it's fine. If you have them bent, just go as far as you can go. And then imagine, or the intention of turning the crease of the elbows forward. Once more, tuck the tailbone in, round the upper back, and lean back. Sit your hips back into your heels, so you can feel now a nice stretch here in the forearms. Maybe even your upper back is stretching slightly. Try to keep the full back of your hands and the heels on the ground. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbows to the side, roll back onto your hands. Shoulders and wrists in line. Round your spine. And now lean forward, so shoulders get in front of your fingers. Press the fingertips into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax fingers, lean further forward. Press fingertips into the ground. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax fingers. Lean once more further forward. Press fingers down. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press fingertips into the ground a bit more. Bring the shoulders back on top of your hands and relax and shake your hands out. Then from here you're going to make fists facing each other. Round your spine. And then open your hands into so-called fins. So the back of your hands are on the ground. Lifting back up into fists. Open your hands, close. Open, close. 6, 5, 4, 3. Try to keep the elbows straight. 2, 1. Next time when you're in a fin position, stay here. And then drop your chest down towards your hands. Elbows to the side, elbows extended. Elbows to the side, drop the chest down and push back up. Make sure you're not bringing your head or your face down to the hand. It's your chest going towards your hands, so you have more weight in your wrists. 2 more. 1 more. We're going to go back into fists. Lift up into fist, open into fin. 2 rounds in total. 3, 4, 5, maybe a bit faster, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay in fin and draw your chest down to the ground. 2, elbows pointing to the side, bending into your elbows, bringing more and more weight into your hands. 4 more, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up into fists. Now make your fists as small as possible. Squeeze that fist together and then try to maintain that position and get onto the top of your hands, trying to bring the wrist down to the ground. And you might feel a cramping sensation and your hands want to open up, but you want to maintain the fist. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and get rid of the cramp in your forearms and shake. Now we're gonna stretch our fingers a little bit. So fingers facing you. And then start bending into your elbows. Bring the shoulders closer towards your wrists and make sure your fingers are still all connected to the ground. Just stay here for a little while and you should already feel quite an intense stretch in your fingers and as well the top of your wrists probably. Stay for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go a little bit lower. Bring your shoulders closer to the wrists, elbows closer to the ground. And now you're allowed to lift the pinky finger off the floor. Make sure the index and your middle finger are still connected, getting deeper into that stretch. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly roll over. Make fists. Open your hands. Do any movements, what is needed. And then we finish the warm-up with some heel raises. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, index fingers parallel to each other facing forward. Once more, tuck tailbone in, push the floor away from you, round your spine. Now think about pressing the knuckles of your index fingers into the floor. Then lift the palms off the ground, lowering back down to the floor. Push the knuckles of your index fingers into the floor, going back down. Can you keep your shoulders in line with your hands? The further away your knees from your hands, the more intense it gets as there is more weight in your hands. Maybe go a little bit faster. We want to pump that blood into the area. And then for the last 10 reps, we're going to go a little bit slower. Lift, low, down, lower down slowly. Lift, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. 4, down, down. 5, down, down. 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one. Relax and hopefully you feel the pump in your forearms and you can see how that's going to make you strong. So this is basically my go-to wrist warm-up. Feel free to do exactly what we did for another round or even 3 rounds, depending on how much warm-up your wrists need on that day, because that can change. One day you feel like you just need to put a little bit of weight in your wrist and that's fine. One day you might need 10, 15, 20 minutes of wrist warm-up. And as well, don't be surprised if your wrists are sore at the beginning of your handstand journey. As said at the beginning, you're now placing your whole body weight or putting your whole body weight in those small joints, and they're not meant to hold your whole body weight. So they need to get strong, they need to adapt, and they will get sore. So making sure you never skip your wrist warm-up. Of course, there's hundreds of different wrist drills. You can do whichever wrist drills you want to do. But we really want to cover the drills which actually strengthen your forearms and your wrists and make them more mobile. So I recommend you follow the drills we were just doing together. Feel free to change or edit them, whatever you're in need on that day. But making sure you cover all those parts, and you can do 1 to 3 rounds of those.